Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another session of Easy Dharma for the New Now. Okay, today we'll be talking about the basics of Tantra. So, as usual, before we proceed, let me see who's on. And okay, I'm on, and Pastor is on. Cindy, Yin Ping, Hannah, good evening. Welcome to a session on Tantra, Pastor Tat Ming and Mr. Lam. David, good evening. Yin Ping and Mun Ting and more people. Bing Kui, hello. And Miao Ki, good evening, everybody. Today we'll be talking about Tantra. Okay? I know usually I like to pronounce it Tantra, but Tantra sounds more authentic. All right. So before we begin, I just want to talk a little bit about religion and theism. I hope I got the pronunciation right. Monotheism. Theism. It is related to Tantra. Okay. Religion in general began with at the dawn of mankind. In Paleolithic, Neolithic, the Stone Age times, where man sought to understand the world, this uncertain world that they live in. So there's a lot of things that, can you imagine if you are a prehistoric man and then you have all these natural disasters, you plant, and then there's locusts, there's all sorts of things that happen in this world that upsets your world, upsets obstacles to your livelihood, obstacles to your survival, animals, wild animals, danger, finding a mate, clubbing that partner and then dragging the partner to the cave to mate. There are obstacles when you club, maybe someone clubs you instead. There's so many things that could happen. And so religion began at the dawn of mankind in this manner, in a sense that we sought to overcome these problems because logically we can strategize, but there's a lot of things in life back then, prehistoric times, and even now, that we cannot control, which is, for example, the weather. Okay, nowadays, yes, we have weather forecasts and all that, but basically there's a lot of forces at work that we wish to tame and we don't know how to, so we're seeking something higher, an outer force, a creator force, a force a divinity that we believe that creates everything and has full control of our lives. So religion, it's believed, began in that way, in the sense that we wish to contact this force to make amends, to appease, so that they will give us favorable harvests, so that they will bestow us with boons, so it will bestow us with a baby, bestow us with good harvest, bestow us with a solution to our problems, bestow us with all the problems in life. Our problems in life right now and prehistoric is quite similar, actually. Although our lives now are more, our problems right now are more like more internal. It's more about our internal issues regarding, like in this COVID-19, where we have a lot of emotional issues. It's more internal, but the manifestation is pretty much the same. The outer manifestation. All right, so religion began in that way. So it began in a theistic way where there's a belief in a creator god or creator gods. All right. So it's an outer force we wish to contact with, to commune with, to pray to get something. So most people have this concept of theism, religion, in that way. Okay, everybody understand that? Any questions? Let me know. Because we always think of a deity, a god or gods, a divinity, a force, whatever name, whatever word you want to put onto this, as an outer force. All right. I've read somewhere that the smart term for that is called theism, monotheism, theism, right? So, unfortunately, when Shakyamuni came along, he introduced us to his whole doctrine using similar terms, but completely revolutionized the meaning. So instead of a creator god or gods, divinities, the Buddha talked about karma. The Buddha talked about leading a virtuous life. The Buddha talked of the Eightfold Noble Path. I hope I got that right. So, the Buddha taught about all these things that's got nothing to do with a God. That's got nothing to do with a created God that created us, that created earth, created the universe, created us, that we can appease and get what we wish for. He didn't talk about that at all. He talked about what's the source of our problems, which is karma, which is our actions and the results of our actions. All right? So that's what the Buddha focused everything on. He didn't talk about divinity. He didn't talk about deities. He never talked about any of this. Okay. Everybody clear about that? So most people these days, when you want to talk about spirituality, when you talk about religion, we tend to have that as a focus, as an outer deity, an outer force that control our lives, that when we wish to change the things around, we wish to be, to overcome our problems, we wish to have, overcome problems. Okay, is one thing. We wish to have more money, we wish to be more beautiful, more youthful. No, there's no God to do that. But anyway, we wish to, for money, we wish for overcoming our problems, we wish for what else? The things that we want in life. Okay, the material things we want in life, right? So when all these material things that we want in life, we seek and contact an outer force. So generally, most people, when it comes to religion, have this concept of spirituality. Give me something. I pray to you, you give me something. I make offerings to you, you happy, you give me. I make nice offering, I make nice image of you, I pray to you, I bow to you, You are Almighty God, Almighty Creator, Almighty Divinity, Almighty Force, Almighty Goddess, God, whatever word you want to use. That is a concept that is ingrained in most of us that we think is religion. All right? So, but in Buddhism, they use all these outer trappings, but for a different purpose. All these things is in Buddhism, we do it. But that's not the purpose. We're not trying to appease a God. Buddha himself said, I'm not a God. You don't pray to me like a God. You don't. Because I cannot take away your karma. You can take away karma, but you can use me because I've achieved perfection. So, which is called enlightenment. All right. So what happens is Buddhism, the Buddha's method is completely different, but using the same methods. Everybody understand about that? So why is it different and how is it different? A Buddha that we wish to contact, whether it's tantric practice or whatever practice, is the same. A Buddha that we wish to contact, right, is not a God. He has no ego to be pleased. He has no ego. He has no wish for fame, for glory, for disciples, for devotees, because he has achieved transcendence, enlightenment. He has gone beyond. That's why they say some of his names are the one gone. I forgot the translation. The one gone beyond, meaning he has overcome all these worldly ambitions, worldly views, worldly needs of fame, of having people worshipping, of praise, of offerings. He has gone beyond all that. So when he has gone beyond, why do we still make offerings to the Buddha? Because it's not about the Buddha, it's about us. It's about us wishing to achieve the same state as the Buddha. That's the purpose why we make offerings. That's the purpose why we worship the Buddha as the actual purpose. The outer trappings, the outer ritual is the same. We prostrate to the Buddha. We lay out offerings, beautiful to see, flowers, incense, but the meaning is totally different. We are not appeasing the Buddha. The Buddha does not need to be appeased. The Buddha does not need for us to recite praises to him. We sing praises of the Buddha. That's one of our practices, to sing praises of the Buddha, to recite praises of the Buddha. He doesn't need to be told all the good qualities that he has. He already has them. He has achieved them. He knows he has achieved them. It's not that he doesn't know. You need to remind him. He does not need to be reminded. He has achieved perfect memory. He has achieved all the things. He doesn't need any. He doesn't need all those things. So but one of the things is I just want to make sure that everybody is on the same page, so no questions to it. So the first thing that we need to understand about Tantra is the deities that we wish to contact in Tantra is not to appease them. It is actually to generate certain qualities within us, certain energies within us. It's us, not them. All right? So in Tantra, actually, what you're trying to do is you're trying to achieve the deity within. So if your deity is Tara, you are trying to achieve the Tara within you. Because the Buddha said, all of us are Buddhas within. We have the Buddha potential, Tata Gata Garbha, the technical term in the text, which literally means the Buddha seed, the Buddha potential. Okay, all of us have them. We are all enlightened beings within us. All we have to do is tap within. But to tap within is much more than just, than just words that I'm going to look inside, You can't dig in your heart and find it. You can't do that. There's a lot of process of purification. There's two ways, accumulation and purification. Accumulation of merits and purification of karma, because all of us, the Buddha potential is covered in so many lifetimes of karma, obscurations. Karma leads to obscuration. What's an obscuration? Because by the virtue of our actions, which are self-serving and selfish, it blocks our potential to emerge. So it's obscurations and negative karma and so many lifetimes. So we have digging through, So in order to do that, there's many, many ways the Buddha taught. And one of the methods that the Buddha taught, which according to the Buddha is the quickest and the fastest, the speediest, is the practice of Tantra. All right, so that's why I had this long story, long song and dance for you to understand, because we tend to approach Tantra from the point of it's a physical deity we wish to contact to grant us something. We're not trying to do that. In Tantra, we're not trying to contact an outer force to please them, to make sure they give us something. No. We're trying to contact an outer force, an enlightened force, not just an outer force, an enlightened force, enlightened divinity, to actually awaken us, the divinity from within us. That's what we're trying to achieve in Tantra. So in order to do that, right? Any questions so far? I don't see anybody. Everybody clear about what I've been saying? Following my story? I have a story. Today it's story time. I have a story from the dawn of mankind and what religion is about, how man sought to overcome the problems and developed religion, looking at an outer force, looking for a powerful force from external to solve our problems that we cannot solve normally. All right, so it progressed, and that became religion as we know today. So what happens is there are many religions in the world, and then in Buddhism, Buddha kind of revolutionized everything. But when he revolutionized, he had to use the conventions of the day, which is from an outer force. So the rituals and all that is like appeasing an outer force, but the meaning is different. The actual meaning of making offerings, of reciting mantras, reciting praises, of making statues, images, is not to please them. It's not that, oh, because you offer gold on them, it makes them happy, it makes them think they are important. The Buddhas, the enlightened beings, do not need all those things at all. That's my point. That's the story so far. All right. So in Tantra, what we're trying to achieve is enlightenment. What we're trying to achieve is the deity within. So the practice is called deity yoga. Okay, deity as in the physical deity. The physical deity, and yoga as exercise. You know, like yoga, when we do yoga, as in simple yoga, you know, we stretch here, stretch there, you know. So what we're doing is, in Buddhism, we're not so concerned about physical yoga. We're concerned of the inner yoga. I know some people might tell me, oh, but yoga also let's not go there. What I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to define is the meaning of yoga, which is an exercise. All right? So in deity yoga, you're not exercising the deity. You're not doing that. What you're trying to accomplish is to become the deity. So in order to become the deity from within, in order to uncover the deity within, there's quite a number of things we need to accomplish. All right. So there is prerequisites. There's prerequisites to practicing deity yoga. There's requirements requirements to practice deity yoga. All right. One of the requirements is, number one, if you have read Rinpoche's starting on Vajrayogini, which is excellent, is good enough for any practice. All right. I'm going to go on general. I won't go in the higher, lower Tantra and the 4 classes of Tantra. I won't go technical because this is just the basics of Tantra. So I'm going to use Vajrayogini, the tantric practice of Vajrayogini, as our basis for all yogic practices. So all tantric practice. All right. So for Vajrayogini, what do you need? You need to have devotion to your teacher. Why is that? Why do you need devotion to your teacher? All right, I'm scrolling. Sometimes I'm looking on the screen is because I just want to make sure that I didn't miss any questions, and to make sure that you understand. Also, if you have any questions regarding what I say, I can go back. Let's say I said something earlier, I can go back and because this is very important for us to understand, then we understand why we have all these requirements, because each requirement has a reason behind it. All right? Because Tantra is about the physical appearance of the deity. It is about Vajrayogini. The meditation is about her appearance, and it's about becoming her. It's becoming her from using at the beginning, you use what? You use your imagination. So Tantra is about imagination. So all of us, some of them are saying, oh, I cannot visualize it's so difficult. Oh, it's very difficult, I cannot visualize. I need something. How to visualize? Oh, cannot. All of us can. We are very good. Actually, we're very, very good. We're very imaginative. If you put you just ask you to meditate on the breath for 10 minutes, if we can take a microscope and look into your brain and see what you have been imagining, you'll be amazed. If only you notice what you've been imagining. All of us have imagination. All of us have visualization power. The only thing is we don't have focus, concentration. That's the thing. Because why? And it's not that we don't have. We have concentration. It's just what we concentrate, what we use to concentrate on. That's the key. So that's why we have daily practices. So in order to make all this work, everything, because there's more than that, you need something that will have a special force, a beginning, a force of blessings that hold us in place, that makes us our practice work. The very basic force we need is a devotion to our teacher, because how we met Vajrayogini, how we met any practice of Tantra or Buddhism in general, all right, is through our guru. And we're not talking you pick up a book and you read it and that's it. We are talking of when you pick up the book. Let's say if you meet Buddhism through a book. The book was written by a guru. All right. So you connect with Buddhism through the Buddha, through Vajrayogini, through the teachings of our guru. So through the teachings of a guru, through the blessings of a guru, it is very important. So I will not go so much into devotion to teacher. How do you devote yourself? What is the meaning? Perhaps I have to have another session because there's too vast a subject to reach now, because I've limited time. So, but the most important is, if you do not know how to devote yourself to a teacher, what it means to devote yourself, because it's not about being close to Rinpoche, or to any guru. It's not about serving them physically. It's not. That's only one small part of it. A bigger part of it is something else. It is how we surrender ourselves to the teachings, to his instructions. It's a quality of surrender. It's letting go. It's not must do this, cannot do this, must do that, cannot do that. A lot of people have this also. Guru devotion means, you do like that, it's wrong. Do like that, it's correct. Do like that, you got devotion. Do like that, you no devotion. No. Having devotion is surrendering. It's letting yourself surrender. By seeing his qualities, you let go. Rinpoche, I let go of my attachments. I'm doing Dharma work. Rinpoche, I'm letting go of my attachments. I'm doing my sadhana. Rinpoche, I'm letting go. I'm going to sacrifice my time to do something good for myself. That is devotion to your teacher. All right? Everybody clear? That is your most basic in Tantra. So we cannot pick and choose what we like, Rinpoche's instructions. If we pick and choose, it's not surrendering. It's not that's right or wrong. It's not that's bad karma or bad samaya. There's no surrender. Sorry, let me look at the article again. Okay, we hold our vows and commitments. A vow and commitments is like, right, wrong. It tells you what it's to guide our Rinpoche doesn't. I remember how Rinpoche teach about vows, about refuge, about bodhisattva, about monk vows. The vows are not to imprison you. It's not to tell you, like that, bad. What's good, what's bad, what's good, what's bad. It is to guide you. So you have to understand the spirit of the way the vows were made. It is to guide us to have devotion to the teacher. It is to guide us to have faith in the three jewels, to have faith in the Lama, to have faith in the practice, in the Buddha. So it's guiding. It is not to imprison us. It's not to tell us right from wrong. No, it's not. So we have to understand the vows, and then we practice it. It's very powerful. Okay, we have to have integrity. This is what Rinpoche, it's all written there. I'm just putting for you, reminding you guys, because this is Tantra, this is the basics of Tantra. To have integrity is to keep our word of honor, is to basically walk the talk. If you say if you promise you're going to do something in Dharma, you'll do it. By hook or crook, you will do it. You don't give excuses, because that's not surrender. That's not letting yourself do it because you understand the benefits. All right? So then you have, Rinpoche has, some of us have been given certain work. Some of us are in Dharma work. Some of us are doing voluntary work. Some of us are doing charity work. Whatever label we wish to put on our practice, our work, our Dharma work, our voluntary work, our jobs in Dharma, in Kechara, or elsewhere, or whatever organization of your Lama, does not matter. It doesn't have to be applied to just Kechara. We should do it. We should do it to the best of what we can do it, of how we can do it. And because this will add to our practice. Because when we take Dharma work more for the Dharma and not for the work, because if it's work, it's just 9 to 5, it's just for the paycheck. The motivation is just samsara. If we take the work as Dharma work, it is meant to achieve Vajrayogini. So even our work, our voluntary work, the time we go and roll mantras, the time we go and do pujas, the time we go and I don't know, whatever, come to KFR to help out on the weekends. The time when we learn Dharma, when the time when you think, okay, every Mondays I got a bit of free time, I'll go on the blog and learn the Dharma. Sometimes on Wednesdays, sometimes on Tuesdays, I listen to Pastor Neral. Sometimes on Wednesdays, I listen to Pastor David. There is wonderful Dharma work to learn the Dharma, to increase your faith in the Dharma, to your understanding of the Dharma so you can apply it. All right, so we should do it. All right, so that adds to Tantra. That is one of the prerequisites of Tantra. All right, and then we have to practice. Okay, this actually Guru devotion comes here. Sorry, I brought it first because that's most important for me. But Rinpoche lists on the number 4. Develop contemplations in the good qualities of one's Lama again and again. That's the crux of devotion to a teacher. How do you have devotion to a person, for a Lama, when you don't see every day? And now we won't be able to see Rinpoche for a while until he comes back. Right? How do we continue to have devotion on a daily basis? We contemplate, we think of the good qualities. Same thing, any relationship, whether it's friendship, whether it's family relationship, we don't focus on the bad qualities. Some of us, we rather not focus, but if you don't have focus, then you have no relationship at all, okay? So if you want to have a relationship with one person, you have to focus. You have to be close. You have to develop this closeness. And the closeness is not about how physical proximity. It's from your mind, from your heart. How do you develop this proximity? Right? You contemplate. Now that Rinpoche is not around, how do we contemplate of his good qualities, what he has done for us, what he's done for the organization. We listen to his teachings. We think of what he has done for us. We think what he has done for Kechara. We think what he's done for others. It's not just about ourselves. Don't focus just about me. Because we want to overcome this me and to become Vajragini, right? So we don't just think about ourselves. We think of what Rinpoche has done for others. So we want to tap into that and to see Rinpoche for who he is. When we focus on Rinpoche's qualities, his good qualities, innumerable, then we have a stronger devotion. Then it will seep into other aspects of our practice. All right? So that's number 4. Number 5 is 8 verses of thought transformation. The crux of it is being focusing on others. Don't focus on yourself. All right? This is a huge topic in itself, so I won't go so much into it. It is to develop selflessness. It is to develop compassion for others. It is to develop empathy. It is to develop love, kindness for others. Okay, this is all embodied in the 8 verses. And then next one is make a point to get along with everyone as much as possible and be forgiving. We live in a community, for some of us here in Kechara Forestry, in Kechara, in a general, bigger sense, it's a big family. We're all brothers and Dharma brothers and sisters. I'm your Dharma brother. You're my Dharma sister. You're my Dharma brother. All right, we should view ourselves with some sort of affection and some sort of closeness. Some of us have certain quirks, like me, I'm high-strung sometimes when I talk, so don't focus on what sometimes I'm like that. We tend to focus on some little quirks and then we get annoyed, we get irritated. Some of us are a little bit of needing attention. Sometimes if people need attention, we just give it. Don't give them a Dharma talk and force them to, when we ourselves need attention as well, and you tell, you don't be like that, don't be like that. Sometimes we tend to do that. We tend to be very self-righteous. So we tend to lecture people and then it gets them irritated, and then there's some sort of conflict, right? So sometimes we should take a step back and give what they want. It's not always just giving everybody a Dharma talk. Everybody is supposed to practice except us. We should practice too. So we have to get along. So getting along with people means give and take. So we give some, we take some. So we are not Buddhas. None of us here in Kechara are Buddhas except Rinpoche. And Rinpoche is not here at the moment. So we have to do our best to accept each other for our flaws and try to tell, if people have done something wrong, tell them nicely. Don't go on a self-righteous campaign to lecture the whole world of how things should be. We should go around to lecture everybody on the virtues of Dharma practice, the virtues of Rinpoche. Okay, not what is right and wrong, So it's important that, and then there are times we need to do that, and there are times we shouldn't. So we should develop that give and take. Sometimes people are tolerating us. Sometimes we have to tolerate others. Don't always be people have to tolerate you. All right, very important. Study Lamrim, wheel sharp weapons, which I was supposed to do today, but I'm giving you this special session for a special reason. And then we also need to study the Bodhisattva Charivatara, which is a bigger expansion of the 8 verses by Shantideva Lojo, Mind Training Teaching, which is one of the texts in Mind Training is Wheel Sharp Weapons, and 50 verses of Guru Devotion, which is covered if you read Gurus for Hire, if you listen to the teachings Gurus for Hire, Enlightened for Sale. There's an excellent teaching because Rinpoche has made the old 50 verses, which is more, a bit esoteric in its language, and made it applicable for a modern practitioner, which is excellent. And then after that, commit to a light practice every single day, which is Lama Tsongkhapa practice, Guru Yoga, combined with Dorje Shukden. You cannot do Dorje Shukden. By right, every Kecharian, if you're just doing Dorje Shukden's mantra, you should already upgrade a little bit. You should include Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga because you want to have devotion to your teacher, right? Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga is Guru Yoga. So Lama Tsongkhapa embodies your teacher. So when you do Guru Yoga, you are tapping into not just Lama Tsongkhapa as a deity, into your teacher and Lama Tsongkhapa as one. And then combined with Dorje Shukden practice, your practice will progress faster than just doing on DS alone, all right? And then just be loyal. Be loyal to, now the last thing that Rinpoche wrote there, be loyal to your teacher. Be loyal to your center. What does loyalty means? Be loyal means if you haven't fully practiced everything, you don't go to another teacher. If you don't fully understand Lamrim, if you have not mastered the Lamrim, let's put it this way, none of us have. None of us, for a long, long time. So if we've not, we have to put more effort. And we have to put more effort to learn. Because not just Lamrim, we have Rinpoche list down, Wheel of Sharp Weapons, Bodhicharyavatara, 8 verses. Okay, that's a lot. If you've not mastered all of these teachings, don't go look another teacher because we have a lot of teachings already to master. Because when you go to one teacher, there's a reason for it. Rinpoche already explained. When you go, it's not that we want to keep you here in Kechara. We want to control you. Kecharans want to want your money. No, it's not that. It's that when you go to one path, this path, the Kechara path, and then you go to another path, then you go to another path. This is not a supermarket, We're not here to buy, we're not buying groceries, Spiritually, we cannot do what we do on a daily basis, buying our groceries. We cannot go to a supermarket and pick and choose. We're not supposed to do that. And then today I want to buy milk. Tomorrow I want to buy soya milk. Another day I want to buy something else. We can't do that with our gurus and our centers. All right? And the teachings and the lineage. Because when we do that, we get confused because we haven't even mastered our own. That's why there's so many things that Rinpoche asked us to practice, to study up. Not even practice, study up so we at least intellectually understand. If we haven't fully intellectually understand, we haven't practiced, we will definitely not be able to master. All right? So Vajragini Tantra requires all this. All right? This is just the prerequisite. And then we have practices, some more preliminary practices. 100,000 Guru Yoga, Vajrasattva, Mandala, prostration, water offerings, confessional Buddhas. This is all recommended by Rinpoche in order to practice Vajragini, Tantra, basically, higher Tantra. All right? So these are the very basis for you to practice because Rinpoche already said you do not need to do a lot, years and years of meditation on Vajragini to gain the result. If you follow his step, follow Rinpoche's prerequisites. When you follow his prerequisites, you do not need. Naropa, only meditated for a few months. He saw a vision of Vajrayogini. He gained enlightenment already. Just a few months. So I don't guarantee you will if you follow the steps, okay? You are not Naropa. We are not Naropa. So what happens is, my point is, if you follow Rinpoche's instructions, you will find greater, faster results. All right? You will not gain enlightenment. If you follow exactly and you have 100% diligence, what happens is you can gain Kechara paradise. That's definite. All right? So enlightenment, I don't know. It depends on your diligence. All right? So, but Naropa, just a few months only. Just to let you know. The Mahasiddha Naropa. All right? Just a few months of meditating on Vajrayogini, gain complete enlightenment and beheld Vajrayogini. And Vajrayogini bestowed the initiation. That's why our lineage of Vajrayogini is called the Naro Kacho Vajrayogini. Because the initiation, the practice that was given to Naropa was very different. It was completely different. What he gave down to us was something he saw as a vision. So Vajrayogini appeared to him and said, from now on you should bestow, gave him the initiation and all. The practice will descend from you from now onwards. Okay, so based on his devotion and all his special qualities, which is embodied in the instructions that Rinpoche has just given in. All right, so everybody clear. Let me see, go back to the screen where I can see your comments and questions. Oh, there's a lot of comments I didn't realize. Okay, it starts with Kelvin, Tenzin Jamka. This is from Tenzin Jamka, which is Kengnam. This I heard, vows are very important. As I read that, a butcher during Buddhist time who had made a vow of not killing at night when he was not working, collected the merit for not killing. Hence, if we make vows for Dharma and keep them, we collect immense merits for keeping those vows. Wonderful, excellent. You understand. Mr. Lam, Pastor, the 50 stanzas of Guru Devotion is a good place to start off. However, we are in different times since the stanzas were written. How do we apply it in today's environment? Very good question. I will have saved it for another time. But if you really want, if you can't wait for my session, or Pastor Nara, one of us will be speaking about that. Please refer to Gurus for Hire, Enlightenment for Sale. This is something that Rinpoche gave. It's quite an extensive teaching on the 50 verses in a modern setting. All right? Because when you read the 50 verses, it's very like, oh, cannot this, cannot this, cannot, you go to hell, you go to, right? So Rinpoche has interpreted it for a modern practitioner. We should read that, we should listen to it. There's all, as I remember, there's YouTube and there is a book. All right? And then, hello, Mr. Chi. Grace, JC Go, thank you. And then Chung says, I believe if we apply the underlying meaning of each verse, they are timeless. Wonderful. Yes, but a lot of people don't fully know what's the underlying meaning, Chung. So that's why we need to still study it. And then Phoebe, good evening. LC Toy. So Guru Yuga followed by DS. Correct. LC. And then that's Pastor Nara who answered, correct, very nice. And LC Toy says, burnout with the preliminaries. There's an answer for you, LC. This is from Pastor Naral. LC, Dharma practice is a process. We shouldn't rush to complete things or like preliminary practices. Buddhism is more than just that. It's about transformation of the mind, like Pastor David and Pastor Naral have been sharing. When we do physical practice with inner transformation practice, we won't actually face burnout. We should take things slowly, as spiritual transformation is a process and not instant. Excellent. Okay, so far, very good. So that's all. Where was I? I've just completed about the preliminary prerequisites from Rinpoche. It's from the article called Starting on Vajrayogini Right Now, or just now. All right, so one of the things I needed to cover in this session is how do we go about receiving Deity Yoga, to receiving the practice itself. We have the prerequisites. The technical, the process, there is a process we have to go through, and the process is called an initiation. Okay, empowerment, initiation is just a different word. And it's a formal practice, which is a ritual that the Lama has to do for us to bestow us with the permission, empowerment, blessings, and in order to do the practice. Especially for higher tantric practices, there are levels in Tantra of the deities and the practices. Levels here, what does that mean? It does not mean, there are 4 classes actually, there are 4 levels. It does not mean the deity is more superior. It is not the deity. All Buddhas are superior, all are equal. They're all enlightened. They have all achieved freedom from samsara. They have all achieved full awakening, full omniscience, everything. All right? So they have all the complete qualities to guide us to enlightenment. Okay? Complete. What is the difference between the 4 is that the practices, the meditations, the manuals, the sadhana that of each deity, how it's written, in what way, is according to a certain method. So for the highest one, let's just go to the highest, which is Vajrayogini. All right, the highest one requires us to have initiation, a permission, a ritual of initiating you into the practice, initiating. Okay, so what happens is the Lama has to do it for you, for you to practice. So what he does is he actually he's actually guiding you into the mandala. A mandala is a palace, a visual palace of where she abides. So this physical palace of Vajrayogini is reflection of her mind. So what happens is during that time, what the Lama will do is the Lama will go through a special purification called self-initiation. You don't need to know that, the details of that. What happens is, and then when he does that, then he gives you an initiation. And when he does that, he doesn't give it to you as an ordinary Lama, as an ordinary human being. He has visualized himself as Vajrayogini. He is Vajrayogini. He's in a nutshell. Rinpoche is, the Lama is Vajrayogini. The Lama is bestowing you and putting a potential of enlightenment into you. Not that you don't have the potential of enlightenment. It is what you call a catalyst into you. So when you do the practice, it opens this up. So you need this. So you don't do the practice before you get that. All right? So that's one of the reasons why there's a prerequisite of an initiation. Okay? You need to, that seed, that potential need to be planted by a Lama who has that in lineage, who has the initiation and the practice, who has done the retreats. Otherwise, the Lama will not be able to give the initiation. All right? So another part of, once you receive the initiation, the Lama will tell you, oh, this is your sadhana. He gives you the text. Usually, initiation is not one-to-one, unless you are a highly, you are an important person or you're an important Lama, it will not be one-to-one. The Lama will give you, let's say, to a group of 50, 100, sometimes thousands, sometimes, in Tibet, it's thousands and thousands of people the initiation is given to. All right, so during the initiation, what happens is the people attending the initiation will have to find their way to look for the sadhana to do, because the Lama will just announce, okay, your requirement is to do the sadhana every single day. You have to do 1 mala of the mantra, or 21 of the mantra minimum, let's say. That is given by the Lama, a permission given by the Lama's mouth. And since it's given by the Lama's mouth, then we have to do it. If it's not been given, then that means we have not received the permission, because the sadhana is bound. It's bound by samayit. So you need to have the permission by the Lama to do the sadhana, to do the mantra. So if you do not have the permission, you do not have the initiation, you're not supposed to do it. So if you have received, if you have done the mantra, you saw by accident, maybe someone told you, hey, Vajrayogini mantra, look, and then you take home and then you om, the 3 ohms, om. So you at home, right? And you didn't know you need initiation or permission from the Lama, and you thought you have, or maybe you have, maybe you thought you have, maybe you were told you have. But I will tell you, if the Lama himself didn't tell you, please don't, think you have. Or it must come from the Lama's mouth. I'm not the Lama. None of the pastors in Kechara are the Lama to give you permission. Nobody, no senior student are Lamas here except Rinpoche in Kechara. All right? So if you have not received permission from the Lama, from Rinpoche himself, do not do Vajrayanist mantra or any exotic high tantric practice like Chert, like Chittamanitara, like Heruka, like Yamantaka. All right, I already know what you guys are thinking already. What about Doji Shukten Puja in Kechara Forest Retreat? We do Yamantaka. That is on permission from Rinpoche. And Rinpoche's permission for the monthly pujas or whatever pujas we do in the puja house, right, is by permission of Rinpoche. It is not permission. Rinpoche's permission is to do the puja. And Rinpoche already said, it's for you to recite to do the puja. It is not for you to do as a practice. So outside of Kechara, outside of the puja, you don't sneakily take picture. You're not given. As far as I know, it's not distributed out officially. Since it's not distributed out, it is not for you to do on a personal capacity. All right? Rinpoche has specifically said that the mantras are to be, the mantras are like Yamantaka. We're doing it, as far as I know, in some of the pujas, like Doji Shukten Puja, like Kalarupa, Druchuma, like Gyapshi, some of them in the puja house, right? We do Yamantaka. We are not doing it actually because there's a lot of things that goes beyond reciting the mantra. In higher tantric practices, you are supposed to do a lot of visualization. You're supposed to. It is part of your practice, part of your sadhana. And it's not written down, the visualization. Some of them are, but most of them are not. Okay, you're supposed to be the Lama or some qualified person who teach you the visualization. If you have not received the permission to do it, you're not supposed to do it. And it's no point now. If you're doing half only, you're doing just the words, recite the mantra, recite the words, and you don't have the permission, then you don't get the result at all. So I know some of you are thinking, oh, but I did it by accident, or I was told. So how now? Is it bad karma? Do I go to hell? Does that mean that, I very negative karma and it's very bad for me? No, it's not. It's not extremely bad. It's quite bad. Just kidding. What happens is, all you have to do is do some purification. So what kind of purification you can do? You can do just normal Vajrasattva. You can include it. By the way, we're supposed to do Vajrasattva every single day. We should. Because not just for purification of, you recited Vajrayanist mantra, not just that. All of us have negative karma. Every single day, we do something negative by being selfish, by being indulging in our attachments, by doing, we commit a lot of negative karma, by the way. Mental karma especially. Sometimes verbal karma, but mostly mental. So when we have a lot of negative karma, right, it multiplies. So it's important to do purification every single day. Not just because you recited the mantra wrongly. So, but when you do the mantra, or let's say you do purification like Vajrasattva, you can focus, I did the mantra, may I purify this negative karma, and you recite Om Beza Sato Samaya Manupalaya, and so forth and so forth. All right? If you have any questions, please ask about this. Oh, I see something that's quite cute. My dear Pastor Neral, this is from LCE. It was not me rushing, but was my seniors from my former center was rushing me to do 600 water bowl offerings for weekend. So I got burned out that I... Okay, that was cute. And Kelvin, by being naughty also. Kelvin. It's all right. You just have to do 10 million Vajrasattvas. Just kidding. As long as you do any purification, it could be Vajrasattva, it can be prostration, it can be confessional Buddhas. 35 confessional Buddhas. All right? It is sufficient. Let's say if you're doing like 21 a day, it's fine. You just do how long, right? How long? Just do it as your daily practice. So I recommend you daily practice, not just for this, for your negative karma. We have so much negative karma. So just add to the dedication. Just add it to it and confess. Once you confess, kawang. Okay, I pronounce it very American. Kawang. Kawang. You know the confessional prayers in Dojo Shuten's puja, right? You can also during that time confess, I recited Vajragini's mantra without permission. Please purify my negative karma. Doji Shukten, you who is one with Manjushri. Okay, then you just do your kawa. All right. So it is fine. It is fine. Just purify. Just don't do it from now. Now that you know your karma is heavier, now that you know that you're without permission, you're not supposed to do it, your karma is going to be heavier. Okay, so those who listen, don't keep doing it and keep confessing, keep doing it and keep confessing. It doesn't work that way. All right, now that you know, right, the karma is heavier. All right, so don't do it again. Wait for the right time. Eventually you'll get things will progress where we will receive these practices. We just need to study the Dharma. Most important, Rinpoche said Vajragini, the key to Vajragini's practice is not doing her mantra, not doing the statue, all that. That is just part of it. The main part of it is the preliminaries. It is the part where we do the preliminary practices. It's the part where we accomplish the prerequisites that I was just talking about, your devotion to the teacher, all that. That's why I quoted Naropa's example. His achievement of Vajragini was just a couple of months. If I remember 6 months, I read somewhere, 6 months, right? Just 6 months. He achieved Vajragini. Since the beginning, he got initiation. Then this Vajravarahi lah. He got Vajravarahi initiation from his guru Tilopa. 6 months of retreat, and then he achieved Vajragini already. So you don't need to do intense. It is the preliminaries. It's the years that Tilopa trained Naropa. All right, trained Naropa, blessed him in the most, in the highest form, which is physical. Okay, for us who don't have that kind of blessing, we need to do all these prerequisites. All right. So let me see if I covered everything that I wanted to cover. Oh, okay. Since we cannot do Vajragini's mantra when we go circumambulating around Vajragini's stupa, what do we recite? Om, om, om? No, we recite our Guru's mantra. This is what Rinpoche told us. I don't know about you guys. I'll just remember Rinpoche said, recite your Lama's mantra. Specifically, of all the holy places in Kechara Forest Retreat, Vajragini Stupa, Rinpoche said, I remember very clearly, he said, recite your Lama's mantra. Rinpoche will not say, recite my mantra. He just said your Lama's mantra, which is Rinpoche's mantra lah. All right? So, his name mantra. So, if you cannot remember that when you're there, you can recite any mantra that you remember. It's fine. But the one that Rinpoche recommended was your Lama's mantra. Okay, when you do circumambulation. And in fact, let me tell you a little thing interesting about another aspect of Vajragini that is a little bit more in-depth. Vajragini practice has 11 yogas. All right? And I can tell you 4 of them is very interesting. 4 of them is interesting. Why? Number one yoga, the most important yoga is Guru Yoga. Within the 11 yogas, there's a Guru Yoga that is that you are visualizing your Lama as Vajra Dharma, and there's certain visualizations. All right. So in order to have that effect, or rather the result from that yoga, we need to train ourselves in devotion right now. All right? So, and that is one of the main practices of Vajragini. All right? The other 3 I wanted to tell you is very interesting. It is sleeping, waking up, and doing normal things like sweeping the floor, like cleaning the house, housework, like doing work, like driving, normal activities. this is a teaser for you guys. All right, you want to do accomplish Vajrayogini, and when you do all those things, you can collect merit. You can do meditation. You don't need to sit and om and om, and breathe. You don't have to do that. You can sweep the floor. You can do your housework. You can water the plants. You can drive, go out, buy groceries, and you can be in complete meditation of Vajrayogini. So that's a wonderful way of doing your sadhana without doing your sadhana. It's a tip. Okay, so it's incredible because Vajrayogini has and going to sleep. All of us, we have to go. How many hours of sleep we have to do every single day? I sleep about 5-6 hours. Some of you maybe 7-8 hours. I think. We sleep so much every single day. That amount of sleep we do every single day can be a Vajrayogini sadhana. It can be a Vajrayogini sadhana. You can be doing retreat. Even our retreat, you don't do that much. So that's the incredible power and effectiveness of Vajrayogini. And that's why Rinpoche recommends, not just Rinpoche, a lot of the Vajrayogini masters recommend it for us because we do all these things. We do it so much and it can be converted into a sadhana, into a practice. Okay, but you need to get initiation first. Yes, you need to get initiation first. You need to do your preliminaries. You need to learn the Dharma. You need to do the preliminaries. That's why Rinpoche, the trick is to do your preliminaries. So when you actually receive Vajrayogini, we shouldn't be rushing into Vajrayogini when you haven't done your preliminaries. And you do not need to become so knowledgeable. Maybe you're not a scholar. Maybe you're not so into. When you read the Lamrim, it's very technical for you. But there are a lot of different types of Lamrims. There's 3 principal paths, 3 principal aspects of the which is a Lamrim that's condensed. All right. So and there's many different teachings on it that will be applicable to us. All right. So, any questions? Let me see. I lost the screen. Oh no, my screen is slowing down. Why does it only slow down right now? Oh, because I have a video on. Just give me a moment. I'm trying to go to the screen, but it's very slow. Carmen Koo. Hi, Pastor David. My friends asked, why doesn't Rinpoche just give the tantric practice to everyone? Then everyone can practice it. Very, very true. No, because the key to the practice of Vajrayogini is the preliminaries. If you're not grounded in the preliminaries, if you do not know the basics of, you do not have devotion to a teacher, right? What happens is this, because Vajrayogini, the practice itself, although it's very simple, as I've made it very simple, it is very fast. It's very highly effective. And because it's highly effective, what happened is we are purifying a lot of negative karma. So when we're purifying a lot of negative karma, obstacles can come very, very easily if we're not grounded, if we're not prepared. And when we're not prepared, we're not grounded, what happens is when we receive the practice, we do not get the very minimum of negative effects is we don't get any results. What it can be is we can give up the practice very easily because we don't have the merits, the mental capacity, the disposition, the Dharma background, the Dharma learning, the merits, the learning to support it for something that is so powerful. It's like a volcano. It's like, actually what Rinpoche said is like a sports car. If you've not driven a fast car, you just rode a bicycle, a BMX, or rally, whatever brand of bicycles they are, and then you're given a Ferrari, the gears are not easy to turn, okay? So what happens? You crash the car because you cannot control. So literally, if you're not prepared, you're not grounded, you'll crash the car. So it's not simply given to most of us, all of us, because we need to train ourselves first. We need to learn the basics, and then so when we drive the car, we can actually go from point A to point B. Okay? So point B is Kechara paradise. Point A is where we are right now. So this is what Rinpoche said. I'm just telling you. All right? And then Pastor Naral has a question. Pastor David, I have some books on Tantra that someone gave to me. Can I read them? What should I do with them? Books on Tantra, if it's just the basics on Tantra, understanding what Tantra is and the basics, you can. If it's on the meditation, on the practice, on Vajrayogini, you cannot. Why cannot? Because they involves the visualization, the explanations, if you have the initiation. Usually, how do you know whether it is on Tantra in general Tantra or on Vajrayogini? It will tell you the beginning of the book. All tantric books that is not supposed to be read by people without initiation will be always told, not on the cover itself, but usually the initial few pages. So you just look out, if you have a tantric book, you just look out for the first few pages, you will see already. And when you look, it's a book on Vajrayogini, it's a commentary on Vajrayogini, it's a book explaining Vajrayogini's initiation, practice, or Yamataka's practice, or Heruka, or Goya Samaja. You know already you cannot read. So what do you do with those books? That's a question Pastor Noah asked. What you can do is you can put it up on your altar and worship the book. No, you don't worship. You are not worshiping the book. You are creating the causes. When you make offerings to the book, you visualize that the book is a speech of Vajrayogini. So when you make offerings, you create the potential that you achieve her speech, you achieve her practice, meaning get a practice and receive the results. All right, so putting altar has great benefits. It's not just you're worshipping a paper-bound book. It's not the book itself that you're worshipping. It is its contents, and it's not you're worshipping it. Actually, you are creating the causes to achieve it. All right, and this is from Path Saxena. I hope I got that pronunciation right. Just a question, Pastor David. I read a little post on a blog on Naropa's 6 yogas. Are they specific Vajrayogini or all Anu Yoga Tantras? Thank you. No, it's not on Vajrayogini. 6 yogas is actually on higher tantric practices with the winds. It's on completion stage actually. So actually, if you have not received the practice, you shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be reading. Don't do the practice at all. Okay, I'm sure it's to do, because I remember some of them is controlling your heat, your winds, achieving illusory body, dream yoga, all that. No, it's not recommended to you do it unless you have a lama who's able to guide you and train you, because it involves completion stage meditation of higher tantra. So completion stage is you're moving your psychic winds. If you cannot even control your gross mind now, which is your delusions, don't talk about your psychic winds, all right? So I do not recommend you continue reading. If you read it, it's fine. It's already done. You should do some sort of purification if you want to purify the negative karma of doing that without initiation. And then what happens is the book itself you can put an altar to achieve. And alternately, if you want to practice, just find a lama, because I don't know where you are. You're probably not in Malaysia or somewhere in the region, I think. If you are, then you should come to a center that will have someone qualified to give you the practice, guide you along the way. Because 6 yogas are not simple imaginary visualization of lights and all that. It is movement of winds. So don't take it lightly, all right? It is, when you do the psychic wind meditation wrongly, you can damage your winds. And when you damage your winds, you have a lot of wind issues. I'm not talking of that, there is in Chinese a humorous saying, when you lose your wind means you have gone crazy, It's something more than just, you act crazy or you're just funny or something like that. But you can be told, you can achieve that in a bad way So I don't recommend you movement of your wind meditation without special guidance of someone who is qualified. Okay? So I'm definitely not qualified for that. I've not received the practice. But you can find a qualified Lama who has trained you. You need to be grounded and trained first. 6 yogas is something not to be done by someone who just pick up the book and read and do it. All right? You need to be guided. And in fact, all higher tantric practices are like that. You need to be guided by a qualified person who is able to guide you. All right? LC Toy says, wait, there's something above. Oh no, there's... LC Toy says, thank you, Pastor David, for a reminder about the book on Vajrayani. I took a peep into it without reading. What should I do? Just do purification. I took a peep. I also took a peep. It's all right. Just when you do your purification, which you should be doing, just during the time when you do purification, think about it. If you do your purification is Vajrasattva or Basic before you do, you just think, dear, oh Vajrasattva, please purify my negative karma. Vajrasattva is one of my Lama. Please purify my negative karma of taking a peep into the tantric book, which I'm not supposed to, so that whatever negative karma I've accrued will not be an obstruction when I actually do tantric practice. Please purify me. So, and then you do your practice and that's it. If it's just an innocent peep, you don't read anything, it's fine. Actually, if you didn't even see anything, you didn't read and you don't do, it's fine. You open the book, it's fine. Some of us flip through the book without reading the words, or I do that sometimes. So it's fine. That one you don't have to purify. We want to look at the line drawings of how Vajrayani looks, whether it's pretty, that's fine. When I mean by reading tantric books, I mean really reading, not just flipping through to look at pictures. All right, so don't worry. Don't have this. Oh, it must be like that, like that, like that. All right. If you just took a peep to look at the pictures, to look at the pretty line drawings, you are not committing any offense. You have not breached any infringement of tantric vows, or you have not accrued anything. All right, you're just looking at the pictures. It's as simple as that. All right, you need to read the words, think about the contemplation, the meaning, and the meditation, and do the practice. Then you have breached it all. Understand? Carmen Koo. Pastor David, what does that mean that all the people who are practicing for the new normal, if you should like to support our past... sorry. It jumped. Carmen says, Pastor David, does this mean that all the people who are practicing this in the secular world will also suffer the consequences of, as many of them probably doesn't know about the consequences? What does that mean? Pastor Nor, is it?
I can't see a comment, but I think she means that if people are practicing Vajrayani or reading Vajrayani books and stuff, do they get these negative consequences?
Yes, actually you do. They do, sorry. That's why all tantric books usually comes with a, what do you call this? Disclaimer at the beginning of the book. They always printed there, it is only to be read by initiates only. So if it doesn't have, then there's something wrong with the publication. Perhaps maybe it was missed, but it should be there. All right, and that's the meaning. You're not supposed to read it if you have not received the practice through initiation. Okay, unfortunately, there is consequences, and it's to do with the practice. Your samaya with the practice, the deity and the practice, then the lineage will be not so good. So in the future, when you do the practice, you may not get results, or you may have obstacles to the practice. Just to the practice, Vajrayani is not out to punish you. She is not out to exact revenge because you didn't follow the rules. No, it's not about Vajrayani doing that. Vajrayani is a Buddha. She will not get angry. She's enlightened. There's no anger in her. She may be expressing a slight wrath, but that wrath has got nothing to do with this kind of wrath in revenge and all that. No, it's a wrath that's compassion. Okay? So what happens is there is no consequences to you. None. It's just to the practice. So in the future, when you do Tantra and the deity, specifically that deity's practice, you may, if you have done it and you not purified the karma, you may have what do you call it, obstacles to the practice. You may develop that. All right, that's all. There's no punishment for you. There's no hells for you for that. Don't worry. All right, it's just that when you do the practice, you have, so because you broke the what do you call, the prerequisites of tantra. So everybody clear? Have I covered everything? Okay, good. So if everybody is clear, I hope I have accomplished my goal. If you give you guys the basic grounding of what tantra is, so that we all don't go, whatever mantra we find, we're not trying. The reciting the mantra doesn't please the Buddha. Reciting a mantra taps into the energy of the Buddha, taps into the Buddha's specifically the speech, because it's sound, but it's actually body, speech, and mind altogether. It is the Buddha in the form of sound. This is what Rinpoche said. So if it's Vajragini, it's Vajragini in the form of sound, her mantra. If it's Tsongkhapa's mixema, it is Tsongkhapa manifesting in the form of sound. So when you recite, you're tapping into it. All right, so you understand what it goes along, what you need to do in order to practice Tantra, Vajragini. All right, so okay. Chung says, Pastor David, can you please elaborate on some of the initiation ceremonies where thousands of people attend? Are most receiving initiation, or are they merely receiving blessings from the kind Lama? Actually, that's a very, very excellent question. It depends on the motivation. And the motivation depends on the person receiving it. So the state of mind. So if the person has, the person entering the initiation hall goes there with the intent to receive the practice, they will receive the practice. If they don't go there, or they go there and they fall asleep, or they go there with the wrong motivation, I don't know what kind of wrong motivation you can accomplish to go to an initiation, then you don't get the practice. Because some people, they have no idea what it is about. They go there, they don't even pay attention, they're just munching away. It's just a blessing. Because I know there are some types of initiation is supposed to be given that way, in a sense that it's given to thousands and thousands, and only a select few in the center will hear it properly. The rest will just hear a bit of a chant, and then they will have picnic on the outskirts. There are some initiations, but Vajragini's initiation is not supposed to be given that way. All right? And so if anybody has received any initiation, set through it with the intent to get it as a blessing, you have received it as a blessing. If you intend to receive it as a practice, and you forgot the practice, you forgot the mantra, you forgot the Lama, it'd be good for you to research, find the mantra, find the sadhana, and do it, because you have an infringement already. For the time you have stopped, you have not done it, you received the practice, the Lama has told you, you have to do this sadhana. Because sometimes, most of the time, the Lama giving initiation will not be saying it in English. It will be through a translator. Okay? So the translator will tell you, okay, your sadhana will be blah, 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 blah. Your daily requirement is blah, 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 blah. So if you have not taken note, the time to now, and you have not done it, you have this amount of broken commitments, literally. Because you have your intent, your motivation was to receive the practice. All right? Very good question, Chung. Rinpoche has explained it like that before. Okay, so I think that's about it. Thank you very much, and I will see you next week. I'm only coming on every Wednesdays, and Pastor is on Tuesdays, and I will be resuming my real sharp weapons next week. All right, so we do a bit of dedication. Janju Central Rinpoche, Maki Panagyu, Kebayama Mipayang, Koneko to Pewasho, Tony Tonga Rinpoche, Maki Panagyu, Kebayama Mipayang, Koneko to Pewasho. Daso Genesa Bagiwadi, Tanadro Gonla Kampada, Jebo Josolo Zondrapa, Dumping Burindo, Sao She, Sho, Kewa Gundo Yanalamada, Jami Joki Pala Long Chochin, Sada Lanki on Terranchoni, Doji Changi Gopang Yotosho, Gewadi Yududa, Lama Sangi Juni, Chuachika Malupa, De Salakopasho, Chujabo Songaba, Chosonama Pewala, Gigi Wada, Tuni Mawashan, Dada Shanki Dosondan, Jiros Latini, Gawa Lozon Drapa, Tamparin Bag, Nimo Della Santala, Nemiko and Delashi, Yasantatu Della Pel, Contrason Yulo, Contrason Motoso, Contrason Tashi, Show, Jason Lamakoso Raptanchi, Namka Chiliji, Yukipada, Losanta Vidro in Samsongi, Drumonso Tatu Negushi, Gandhi Rawe, Koa Shingam Dan, Penanda, Malukian, Chen Rezek 110 Gaso, Shapi City Badu Dan Yuji, Home Tobing or Malapa, Denedala Sadaso, Kodan Temple Lojana, Geba Sushi, Shuk Den Cell. Thank you and good night.